Today, I want to talk about what you do when you reach a plateau. Plateau is that point when you're trying to lose weight and you just can't lose weight anymore. And the thing you have to realize is that a plateau is normal. It's a part of the journey, guys. You have to realize that. It's not a setback, it's not a failure. Anything over a month, if you're at that same point and you can't lose that 10 or 15 pounds for about a month, that's a plateau. If it's maybe like a couple, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, that could be water weight gain. So water weight. It's all about energy balance, right? The calories coming in, the food you're intaking compared to the energy going out, the exercising you're doing, right? When that weight loss stops, there is no longer that deficit. So hope that makes sense to you. So what can you do? So you're sitting here saying, all right, Lisa Mateo, you explained to me what the plateau is. You explained to me what's happening. Now, what the heck do I do? And how do I get over this hump? Okay, so if you want to get over this hump of reaching that plateau, there are 2 things you can do. One, you can decrease the amount of calories that you're intaking, or you can increase the amount of exercising that you're doing. The first thing you should really start to look at is your portion control. Look at the portions you're taking. Maybe your portions are a little bit too large, okay? So that's one of the first things you can do. Just keep an eye on that portion control. The other thing you do is decrease that there goes the F's, the frequency of intake. So for example, if you're doing 3 meals a day, 2 snacks, maybe start it at 3 meals a day, 1 snack. That's how you can start to decrease your calorie intake. Another thing you can do is kind of reduce the amount of energy dense foods. So for example, replace them with foods that are high in protein, high in fiber, low fat dairy too. Those are things that are going to fill you up, and you can get the same volume of food but less calories. So that's kind of the thing there that you work with. So for example, things like beans, peas, there's lentils, there's fish, chicken without the skin on it. There's so many different things. You can do egg whites, you can do some fat-free dairy. All those different things have lower amounts of calories. So you can still eat the amount that you're doing, but you're getting in less calories from it. Okay, so those are good things. Another tip, if you want to kind of decrease that calorie intake, is to try a meal replacement shake. Meal replacement shakes are good because they can, I usually say do it for either a breakfast or a lunch. It's easy to track. You know the amount of calories in there, you know what you're getting, it's all portion controlled, and it's simple to do. You just put it in a blender and you're done. Decrease the amount of food variety, I'm trying to talk. You can do that as well, because think about it. When you're at a buffet, right, and you have all these food options for you there, you're most likely to just start picking at everything. But if you decrease the options that you have, for example, meal prep is a great way to do that, because you're setting everything out for you and you know exactly what you're gonna have on what day. So you're kind of decreasing that variety and just putting in, let's say you make one big thing of chicken tortilla soup, just throwing it out there. That soup, maybe you can have that for lunch every day. Or maybe you can freeze half of it, have it for 3 days, freeze the rest of it, and then do something else for the other 3 days. You get what I'm saying? You're making it easier on yourself. Are you really tracking what you're eating? Or are you just saying, maybe this is what I'm gonna do, and maybe this is how much I'm eating? Track your stuff, guys. I'm telling you, if you're at that point where you're at a plateau, you need to buckle down and start to track things. For example, there's different diet trackers, so many different apps on the phone. I like MyFitnessPal, but you guys can do whatever you want. It's just easy. You go in the app, every time you eat something, you input it, and it's all done for you. You can also do those monitoring systems. Who's got a Fitbit? Like anything like that. Track yourself. See how your progress is going. Food journals. I know in my private group, we have food journals, and we like to do that because it makes you more aware, it makes you more cognizant of what you're eating. It makes you kind of keep everything just in a list and on track so that you stay where you want to stay, and it makes you check exactly, you know, where you're going. Are you, you know, snacking late at night? Like it shows you, and it's right there on paper. It shows you where you're veering off track. So I highly recommend that. Now you get to that point where you're saying, Lisa, I'm already at like 1,000 to 1,200 calories. Like that's a low calorie intake. I'm not going to ask you to lower your calorie intake for that. No, 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 that's not what you want to do. If you're noticing that you're hungry too, you don't want to decrease the amount of calories you're taking, because that's just going to make it more difficult for you. What you want to do is go the opposite. So try and increase your energy expenditure. Work out a little bit more. There's a couple things you can do, okay? So for example, the one you can do is increase your exercise volume, right? So make your workouts a little bit longer. If you do half hour, maybe try going like 45 minutes. And that will try and help out. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is try and see where you can get an extra calorie burn throughout the day. You guys have heard me talk about these pants. I'm just gonna put them out there. So this is one way that I like to do it when I need that extra calorie burn for the day. These are resistance band pants. They have resistance bands from here all the way down to here. There's a stirrup at the end. You put your foot in, so you're constantly pulling. These are made by a company called Agoji. They are phenomenal, if I can say my F's correctly. Yes, Agoji, and I'm telling you, you wear them around. I usually wear them for my workout. I wear them to kind of increase your calorie burn, because that's what these will do for you. They'll help you burn more calories doing the same workout. So you can still keep your half-hour workout, but you put these on and you'll burn more calories. So you see, you kind of have to think about things like that. Think outside of the box. If you're saying, I don't know if I could do it, Lisa, try doing different non-exercise things that you can add into your day. Like for example, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, like doing simple things like that. Parking your car a little bit further away. You know, when you drop your kids off at practice, hey, maybe go for a walk instead of just sitting there in your chair and watching them. There's so many different things you can do. And you can increase your recreational activities. For example, as a family, sometimes one thing we try to do is after dinner, you go for a walk, like make it a family thing. So that way it gets everyone involved. You get to sit and have those, you know, not sit, but you get to walk and have those conversations with your family, and just the different things that come out, you know, it's just that much fulfilling at the same time. So that's something you can do. And if you're saying, Lisa, I really can't fit in any other workouts. One, if you can't, these resistance bands, which can help out, try and break up walks. Like, you don't have to do an entire workout in one sitting. You can break it down into smaller sittings. So if you only have 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes when you get home, and maybe at lunchtime you can do a quick 10-minute walk, like that all adds up. So you guys have to remember that. It doesn't have to be all at once. This may sound weird, but it does help. And I've learned this. You can actually increase your calorie intake. I know you're probably saying, like, Lisa, you just told me to cut it. Now you want me to bring it back up again? Here's the reason why. A lot of the times when you're cutting back and you're on this low calorie diet, you're really hungry and you're not happy and you're just miserable and you're not enjoying the food that you're having. So I always tell people, you know what? Bump it up a little bit. That will make you adhere to what you're doing a little bit better. It'll make it more achievable for you, because it won't be as difficult. I hope these tips really helped out, because I know it's frustrating, and because I've been there. I've been through all the plateaus and the frustrations and the ups and downs, but you have to find what works right for you and really come to terms with yourself and say, okay, like I can't sit there and say, you know, I'm at a plateau, but meanwhile, I know that I'm eating a bag of cookies late at night. Like, that's not gonna work. You gotta be real with yourself and say, okay, we're gonna buckle down and we're gonna do this. And I say we because you need that support group. And if you don't have that support group, that's what I'm here for. That's what my private group is for. Don't get frustrated. Don't get mad at yourself. This is just part of the journey. Enjoy it.